Nerfed.ai, State of Play, and Ubisoft Strikes. I am Vanessa Calderon, and this is your weekly dose of, wait, they actually did that? We have a massive show today covering the latest 60-minute marathon from Sony, a developer revolt in France that is shaking the foundation of one of the world's biggest publishers, and a confirmed arrival date for the most anticipated game in history. It is a packed episode, and honestly, the industry news cycle is moving faster than my frame rate on a bad day. We are diving deep into the massive waves Sony just made, the absolute chaos unfolding at Ubisoft, and some surprising news from the Fallout universe that has everyone questioning their current gaming setup.
And I'm Marcus Shaw. Yeah, we are coming at you with enough news to fill a standard 100 gigabyte day one patch. And honestly, some of it is just as messy. We've got strikes in France, release dates for the most anticipated game of the decade, and a legacy franchise finally making its way to Nintendo's next-gen hardware. If you thought 2024 was quiet, 2025 is already proving to be the year where everything hits the fan at once. We are seeing an industry at a crossroads where the spectacle of high-budget presentations is clashing with the harsh reality of studio mismanagement and labor disputes.
Welcome to Nerfed.ai, where we keep the frame rates high and the industry's ego in check. Marcus, I feel like I spent all of yesterday just refreshing my feed for that state of play. It wasn't just a teaser dump, it felt like Sony trying to set a tone for the entire back half of the PlayStation 5 life cycle. You can find all our detailed breakdowns and some really spicy takes over at nerfed.neuralnewscast.com if you want to see the high-resolution footage while you listen to us break it down. It was interesting to see how they handled the flow of information compared to their previous, much shorter broadcasts.
It was a marathon, Vanessa. Sony didn't hold back, dropping a full 60-minute broadcast on February 12th. That's one of the longest we've seen in a minute. Usually, these shows are a lean 20 to 30 minutes, but they really padded this out with developer deep dives and a lot of focus on games that are coming out of territories we don't usually see as much from in the AAA space. They really used the extra time to let games breathe. Instead of just 30-second clips, we got these long stretches of gameplay that actually show how these titles feel, which I think the community has been craving.
60 minutes of news and gameplay from indies to first party. It's a lot to digest, but the vibe was definitely global. Sony is leaning hard into these international partnerships. We saw titles from South Korea, China, and even some smaller European outfits that are usually relegated to the pre-show. It feels like they are trying to bridge the gap while their own first-party studios, like Naughty Dog or Sucker Punch, keep their cards close to their chest. It's a smart move to broaden the appeal, especially as the cost of development continues to skyrocket in the West.
Right, and while the spectacle was great, the technical reality is what's keeping the community talking. We're seeing a massive push for third-party support as we move deeper into this hardware cycle. The reliance on Unreal Engine 5 was very apparent in the footage shown. Almost every trailer had that distinct high-fidelity lighting and particle work, but you have to wonder if developers are starting to hit a ceiling with what the current base PS5 can handle before the Pro becomes the mandatory standard for these high-fidelity experiences that were being teased throughout the entire hour.
Which is a nice pivot from the absolute dumpster fire happening over at Ubisoft right now. Marcus, did you see the numbers? 1,200 workers on strike as of yesterday. That is a staggering amount of human capital just walking away from the keyboard. This isn't just a small protest in a single office. This is a systemic rejection of how the C-suite is handling their most valuable asset. The French unions are calling for significant changes, not just in pay, but in the fundamental way Ubisoft treats its creative talent and respects the work-from-home agreements that were once thought to be permanent.
It's a massive move, Vanessa. The unions are saying the company simply isn't listening. This all stems from that 5-day return-to-office mandate and the recent firing of a level design lead at Ubisoft Montreal for speaking out. It's the classic corporate disconnect where the people at the top want to see heads in seats because they think that equals productivity, while the developers are proving that they can ship hits from home without the 3-hour commute. It is not just about the commute, though. It is about the trust between management and the staff being completely eroded over the last year.
Imagine firing a veteran of 13 years because they shared a YouTube video about remote work. I mean, bold strategy, Ubisoft. Let's see if it helps you make great games again while your entire staff is standing on the sidewalk. It feels so counterproductive. You have these massive projects like Assassin's Creed Shadows already facing delays and scrutiny, and now you're basically decapitating your creative leads because they had an opinion on work-life balance. It really sends a chilling message to anyone else in the company who might want to speak up about working conditions or creative direction.
Wowed. The workers are making it clear. They won't be bullied into submission. It's a tense moment for the studio, especially with the Prince of Persia remake being canceled recently, and the general restructuring noise. They've lost so much momentum. When you look at the morale across their French and Canadian studios, it's hard to see how they maintain a consistent release schedule. The talent is just going to start leaking to competitors who actually offer flexibility and a better culture. And Ubisoft might find itself with plenty of office space, but no one left to fill it.
Exactly. In slightly more stable news, or at least more profitable news, Take-Two is out here acting like the final boss. CEO Strauss Zelnick reaffirmed earlier this week that GTA 6 is hitting its November 19th, 2026 date. It's a 2026 bingo card staple at this point. Everyone is just waiting for that first real gameplay deep dive to see if it actually looks like the leaks suggested. For a company as notoriously tight-lipped as Rockstar, having the parent company CEO be this specific is a major signal to investors that they are incredibly confident in their internal milestones.
Confidence is at an all-time high over there. They've even confirmed the marketing campaign kicks off this summer. We are about to be absolutely drowned in Vice City trailers, and I'm not even mad about it. Think about the cultural impact. Every other game scheduled for late 2026 is basically looking at that November 19th date and planning their escape. No one wants to launch within 3 months of a Rockstar release because they know the media oxygen will be completely sucked out of the room. It is going to be a total eclipse of the gaming landscape for months.
Meanwhile, Bethesda is finally bringing the goods to the Switch 2. We've got a roadmap including Fallout 4 this month and an Oblivion remaster later this year. It seems like Microsoft is fully embracing their role as the industry's biggest third-party publisher for Nintendo's hardware. For many of us, Oblivion was the gateway into the Elder Scrolls universe long before Skyrim became the household name it is today. Seeing it get a modern facelift and being playable on a portable device is a dream come true for a lot of old-school RPG fans who have been begging for this for years.
Plus, Tekken 8 just dropped version 2.09 on Monday. No balance changes yet, those come in March, but Season 3 is officially taking shape with Kunimitsu returning later this spring. This update was mostly about infrastructure and bug fixes, but the community is already dissecting the files for any hints of secret moves or hidden stages. The competitive scene is more vibrant than it's been in years, and Bandai Namco knows it. They are playing the long game with these character reveals to keep the momentum going through the entire tournament season, which is a smart move.
For real. Plenty to play, plenty to complain about. That's the gaming circle of life. Marcus, thanks for keeping us grounded in the technicals while I focused on the studio drama. It's always a balance between the games we love and the messy business that brings them to our screens. I'm really curious to see if Ubisoft actually blinks first, or if the strike just drags on through the summer, potentially pushing their entire roadmap back by another 6 months. It is a game of chicken where the stakes are hundreds of millions of dollars in potential revenue and the livelihoods of thousands of people.
Always a pleasure, Vanessa. Let's hope next week involves fewer strikes and more actual release dates. I'll be keeping an eye on those Steam DB listings for any hints of surprise drops. Until then, I think I have a backlog of about 50 games I need to get through before GTA 6 inevitably consumes my entire life and social calendar. I am also looking forward to seeing if that Bethesda roadmap for the Switch 2 holds up, as that hardware is still shrouded in quite a bit of mystery despite all the recent leaks and rumors flying around.
Don't hold your breath. I am Vanessa Calderon. We will be back next week to see if the industry has found a way to stop nerfing our expectations and start delivering on all these massive promises. Make sure to stay updated on our website for all the breaking news as it happens, because in this industry, everything can change with a single tweet or a leaked document. It has been a wild ride this week, and I suspect we are only just getting started with the news cycle for February.
And I'm Marcus Shaw. Thanks for listening to Nerfed.ai. Oh, wait, what? I almost forgot to mention we might have a special guest next week to talk about the indie scene, so stay tuned for that. It should be a great deep dive into the smaller titles that often get overshadowed by these massive AAA announcements.
Stay powered up. We'll see you next week. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com.